Hello and welcome to my channel. This is an unboxing of Papercraft Society box number 20. This one was designed by Katie Skilton, and here's a quote from Katie herself: "To be creative is to put a little piece of your heart into each project." I love that because that's one of the reasons why I really like giving handmade gifts, because you are putting a little piece of yourself into every gift that you make. When you get this kit though, there are some contents that come in this envelope and then some that are wrapped in tissue paper, and I try to fit as much as possible into the envelope itself, so most of it's in here. The couple of things that aren't are these. So you get 2 ink cubes, one in a very dark teal and one in black, and then this is a little sample pot of clear embossing powder. And I was always curious about what kind of ink this was, but I watched an unboxing video from Sam Calcott of a different box, and she mentioned that these are actually hybrid inks. So that's really cool because I was always curious to know, what type of ink, whether it was dye, pigment, or hybrid. And I'm beginning to like hybrid inks a lot, especially in black, because sometimes I stamp out my image, but I don't know ahead of time how I want to color it in. And if you stamp with a hybrid ink, then your options for coloring are more flexible because you can use a water-based marker or medium, or you can use a alcohol-based medium, and both will work just fine. You're not going to have any bleeding of your stamped lines. So hybrid ink pads are really nice, and in fact I actually just bought the large size Nuvo hybrid ink pad because I like it so much, but you can never have too much black, I think. So inside the wallet, there's actually 3 pockets and lots of goodies in each. So this box kit includes an embossing folder. So this one is sized for what looks like A2, US A2, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and it's got a really nice pattern here and sort of an open area circle that you can maybe stamp your sentiment or put maybe a topper or focal die cut image or something there. So that's really nice. And then I managed to fit all the different papers that we get into this one pocket. And you can see here, this is the printed pattern that's on the envelope itself. I really like this newsprint pattern. And these are half sheets of paper, so I think it's a US letter size cut in half. Oh, maybe not. So this is actually 5 13/16 by 8 1/4. So this is an A4 sheet of paper that's been cut in half. So this is A5 size. So lots of fun pattern papers, and they're all different, it looks like. These are single-sided, and I would say it's thicker than just paper. I would say this is maybe pretty lightweight layering cardstock, so maybe 60 pound-ish. So how many sheets do we get? A lot of times I think you get 2 sheets in fewer designs, but in this case it looks like we're getting 1 sheet but more designs. So there's 8 different pattern papers, and you get 1 of each, and really lovely kind of springtime colors. And I like the mix, so you have a couple of the sort of newsprint, some geometric kind of zigzaggy, and then some florals, and then the heart. So a nice variety, I think, which is nice, because then you can really create cards for people of different tastes. Not everybody likes a lot of flowers, not everybody likes geometrics, so there's a little something for everybody there. And then we have solid cardstock. This feels a little bit thicker than the paper. I would say maybe 80 pound. Something thereabouts, and double-sided white core, and this also looks like, yeah, they're all different colors. So 8 sheets of A5 in different colors that I'm sure coordinate back to the printed pattern papers. So get all this back in. Then in the center pocket here, we have the booklet, and this has a little letter from Katie Skilton, the designer, and then a lot of different projects and ideas for what you can do with this kit. And this 2-page spread shows you everything that comes in the kit. And what's really nice about these projects is that they do come with sort of step-by-step instructions, some with even photos to go along with it. So if you need more inspiration, you can not only see different projects, but you actually get all of the steps to actually create those yourself. We also get some special paper here. So this is a like a pale gold glitter, and this feels really well encapsulated. It does not feel like it's shedding at all. And then 2 sheets of watercolor card. So that's really nice to have. And then in this first pocket, there is stamp and die set, and then every box also has one of these cards that has another quote from the designer, as well as some tips, some crafty information. It's always something that's kind of useful to have at hand as a refresher. There's I don't have all of the boxes, but I've watched a lot of unboxing videos, and it seems there's always something really useful on these cards. Definitely worth keeping, and just, keeping near your craft table just if you need to reference something. So in this box, we get Katie's top tips for creating eye-catching cards. And a lot of stuff here are things that are really useful to keep in mind, but sometimes you don't always remember. So it's nice to be able to kind of reference back to it. So there's that. And then the stamps and dies, it looks like some of them coordinate and some don't. So let's look at the stamps first. So you have a wreath pattern that has a very definite circle, like a hard edge circle, whereas this one is a wreath with just the leaves, but you can see it's very natural, organic, all the way around, inside and out. But so this one looks like it does have a die that will cut out that outer edge and the inner circle aperture as well. So that's got a coordinating die to go with it, but this wreath does not have a die to cut that one out. And we have a handful of sentiments, which are really nice. And it looks like, let's see. Okay, so butterfly. There's some leaves, some flowers. It does look like, yeah, all of these individual elements have dies to coordinate and cut them out, which is amazing because I am not a good fussy cutter, so it's really nice to have the dies to match. And even this heart, I think, has, well, there are 2 heart dies. I think the smaller one cuts out the stamped image, but then we get a larger one too. And so down here there are some standalone dies that don't have a stamp that coordinates. So there's another frame that has sort of the scribbly look to it with some hearts sort of embedded in there. We have the word smile, and then some additional leaves and just flourishes to add to maybe build up your wreath, or just add as embellishments to adorn any of your frames. And then this, speaking of frames, is a square frame with stitched border on the outer and sort of around the aperture, and it does look like it cuts out the outer and the inner. So it's a proper frame. And what's interesting is the butterfly does look like it has some embossing, because there's, you can see that the metal is cut through as opposed to solid like these. So where the metal has been cut through, the paper can get pushed through there, and you'll have a little bit of some pattern that's embossed into the paper. So it'll be interesting to die cut that and see if it can work standalone, or if it has to go with the stamp. And it'll be curious to see how it looks by itself, and then how it looks combined with the stamp, because the stamp obviously has, you know, some line details in the wings and whatnot. So it'll be interesting to see how those work. And then there are additional stamps that look like maybe they don't have dies that coordinate. So the border down here, which I don't think you would necessarily need a die to go with that. And that might be it. Besides the sentiments, this wreath, you know, the little spray of hearts, those are the only stamped images that don't have coordinating dies, so it's really awesome. So that is this set, and super excited to use this kit. One of the things that really drew me to it was I really like this scribble frame, and then I just think that's really cute, and I love the size of these wreaths. I think they're really nice, and it does look like, you know, this will coordinate with the embossing folder too. So I love how everything just really is designed to work together. So really awesome kit, and when I make some projects with it, I'll be sure to link to those projects at the end of this video. Thank you so much for joining me, and until my next video, happy crafting and have a fantastic day. Thanks. Bye.